Voters in Florida will also decide important races for senator and governor, but that campaign is also about something bigger. Highlighted by dueling rallies yesterday held by former President Trump and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. Tony is in Miami this morning covering the campaign in his native state. Hey, Tony, can you try to paint the picture of what's going on in Florida for us?
Oh, I can do my best. It's a blustery morning here over Biscayne Bay. Nate, good to see you. Good morning, Gayle and John as well, and to all our viewers at home. We've been talking about the states that could determine control of Congress, and Florida is on that list. It's not that it's not. Marco Rubio, the senator here, is still battling with Val Demings, a congresswoman. But the conversation is also about the White House. Dueling rallies you mentioned yesterday, former President Donald Trump and sitting governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis. Could be a preview not of 2022 and the big themes here, but of 2024. In the final hours before Election Day, we found our spot in the press pen.
It's great to be here in my home state of Florida.
And watched as thousands of Florida Republicans cheered and chanted for a man not even on the ballot this year.
We are going to take back that big, beautiful, magnificent White House.
Donald Trump's closing argument for Senator Marco Rubio sounded at times like an opening statement for himself.
Under the Trump administration, we had the greatest economy in the history of the world with no inflation.
Ahead of another possible run for the White House in 2024, something he's been teasing now for weeks.
I will very, very, very probably do it again, okay?
And on Saturday, the former president pushed into new territory, touting his poll numbers within the party and trying out a nickname for perhaps his biggest potential rival in 24.
Ron DeSanctimonious at 10%.
That's Florida Governor Ron DeSantis he's talking about, someone who has not ruled out a White House run of his own, and who on Sunday, while fellow Florida Republicans joined Donald Trump in Miami, was on the other side of the state, speaking to a large crowd of his own.
Are you glad you live in the free state of Florida?
Before DeSantis can really worry about 2024, though, he needs to win re-election over former Governor Charlie Crist.
Democracy is on the ballot in this election.
Tony, how are you?
I'm doing well. Who we met in Miami as he pushed to get out the vote.
How do you think the race is going so far?
I think it's going well. It's a tough race, let's be honest.
Recent polls show him trailing DeSantis by double digits. And Crist, like much of the country, sees this race as a bellwether.
So if Charlie Crist loses on Tuesday, what does that say about the direction of America?
What I think it would say about the direction of America is awful.
Back at the Trump rally in Miami, voters were already looking ahead. We spotted Clemene Connolly in a homemade Ron DeSantis Top Gov jacket. But with Trump paraphernalia along the sleeves, we wondered how she might decide between the two.
Your message to Ron DeSantis, if he's watching, is
stay governor, because I love you as governor.
I love him as governor.
That's about how Denise Ebers feels as well.
Can you imagine yourself voting for Ron DeSantis?
I could, but right now I think Donald Trump's our ticket.
But if Trump doesn't run,
then DeSantis.
Then DeSantis is your guy.
Absolutely.
But not everyone is a Trump-first Republican.
I think DeSantis has less baggage. Trump, I know a lot of people who hate Trump.
The impeachment failed. There's no baggage.
Which may be why Donald Trump is campaigning here at all. Come rain.
Let's stay out here, right? I'm not leaving.
Or Ron DeSantis.
This might be the greatest rally we've ever had.
Former President Donald Trump there doing maybe his best Drew Barrymore in the rain impersonation. And by the way, it's not just Ron DeSantis that the former president might have to worry about. There's Mike Pompeo, there's Mike Pence, there's other governors who might run. As for DeSantis, for his part, allies of his texted with our Bob Costa after that comment in Pennsylvania from Donald Trump and said he is undeterred. They're still advising the governor here in Florida to go for it. And I have to say, guys, if you think I'm crazy to talk about 2024 when the votes have not even been cast in 2022, I'll leave you with some simple math. There are fewer days between right now and the first presidential primary in 2024 looking ahead than there are between here and the presidential inauguration of Joe Biden looking back. So it's going to be a long night tomorrow. Get some sleep tonight. But it's going to be a short 2 years from where we're standing to 2024.
He's spot on. He's spot on.
Tony also justifying why he wants to go hang out in the sunshine in Florida.
I see that.
I'm digging the look, Tony. Looks good, man. Open collar.
The look does look very good,
little
Tony.
windy for me.
But he's exactly right. The narrative for the next presidential campaign gets started on Tuesday. Thank you, Tony.